His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Gudaibiya Palace. The cabinet commended His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's address on the occasion of the celebrations of Bahrain's national days, the 25th accession anniversary of His Majesty the King to the throne, and the accompanying national events. The cabinet expressed its thanks to Bahraini citizens for the generous gestures on the kingdom's national days, as well as the allied countries for their congratulations on the occasions. On the occasion of Bahrain's national days, the Silver Jubilee commemoration of His Majesty the King's 25th accession anniversary to the throne and accompanying national events, His Royal Highness directed 6,900 varied housing services to citizens, affirming the government's commitment to ensuring adequate living standards in this regard. His Royal Highness directed the expansion of the Messiah programme in 2024 to an additional 1,400 beneficiaries. The programme has benefited over 13,000 citizens since its inauguration. The Cabinet affirmed the importance of the Bapco modernisation project inaugurated by His Majesty the King, coinciding with Bahrain's national days, the 25th accession anniversary of His Majesty the King to the throne, and the accompanying national events. The project stands as the largest strategic initiative in the Kingdom's history, representing a cornerstone in advancing the energy sector. The Cabinet noted the government's commitment to investing in the oil and gas sector to foster innovation and enhance sustainability and competitiveness. The Cabinet praised the efforts of His Majesty's Representative for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, Chairman of the Board of Directors of Bapco Energies, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, for his contributions to advancing the sector's capabilities. The Cabinet expressed gratitude to the national workforce for their efforts in the Bapco modernisation project and other energy projects, emphasising the project's role in enhancing the Kingdom's economy. The Cabinet emphasised the success of the World Weightlifting Championship 2024, hosted in Bahrain, under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad. The Cabinet also commended the efforts of the First Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority, and President of Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, along with Bahrain's national workforce, in ensuring the event's organisational and participatory success. The Cabinet then reviewed the outcomes of the 2024 performance indicators of the Kingdom's Labour Fund, Tamkeen, highlighting its unprecedented achievement of supporting the employment and career development of 41,000 Bahrainis in the private sector. The Cabinet also noted that SMEs contributed 51% of beneficiaries under enterprise support programmes and 54% of those receiving financial assistance. The Cabinet credited these achievements to the unwavering efforts and support of the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Isa bin Salman Education Charitable Trust and Chairman of the Board of Directors of Tamkeen, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, as well as the Ministry of Labour. The Cabinet emphasised the importance of initiatives such as the Skills Bahrain Initiative and the Employability Skills Portal, which reflect an integrated vision for enhancing the Kingdom's labour market. The Cabinet expressed its best wishes to students at all educational levels at the conclusion of the first semester of the 2024 to 2025 academic year, stressing the Government's commitment to supporting the advancement of education in the Kingdom. The Cabinet congratulated all people celebrating Christmas in Bahrain and in allied countries, wishing them peace and prosperity. The Cabinet then approved the following memorandums. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding a draft resolution appointing the administrative body and Minister for Private Entities in the youth field and defining their competencies. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Transportation and Telecommunications regarding a request for approval for Bahrain signing the International Telecommunication Union 2023 radio regulations. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Cabinet Affairs and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Education and Training Quality Authority regarding an approval of the authority's reports. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs and the Government's response to 3 proposals submitted by the Representatives Council. The Cabinet noted the following ministerial reports: the outcomes of the India Ministers of External Affairs visit to Bahrain to participate in the 4th ministerial meeting of the High Joint Commission between Bahrain and India. Bahrain's participation in the Arab Ministerial Contact Committee on Syria. The outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the Zakat Tax and Customs Conference. Bahrain's participation in the 113th meeting of the Council of Ministers of the Organisation of Arab Petroleum Exporting Countries, OAPEC. The outcomes of the preparatory meetings for the upcoming visit of His Majesty the King to Oman. Bahrain's participation in the 27th session of the Arab Ministerial Council for Tourism and the 35th session of its Executive Office. The outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the meeting of the Executive Office of the Arab Information Ministers Council. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Speaker of the Representatives Council Ahmed Al Musallam and the Chairman of the Shura Council Ali Al Saleh at Gudaibiya Palace. His Royal Highness noted that collaboration between the executive and legislative authorities has helped advance the Kingdom's developmental goals, led by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness emphasised that the joint efforts of Team Bahrain and the dedication to excellence across various projects have positively impacted the Kingdom and its development journey. His Royal Highness highlighted that cross-government collaboration between the executive and legislative authorities and Team Bahrain has benefited all and supported the Kingdom's steady progress toward achieving its developmental aspirations. His Royal Highness noted the continuous improvement of services offered to citizens across vital sectors such as health, education, social support and housing. His Royal Highness noted the directives issued to provide 6,900 diverse housing services and increase Messiah programme beneficiaries by an additional 1,400 this year, underscoring the government's commitment to meeting the aspirations of Bahraini citizens. For their part, Al Musallam Al Saleh and the Chairman of the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry Samir Nas expressed their gratitude for His Royal Highness's dedication to strengthening cooperation between executive and legislative authorities and private sector institutions to achieve Bahrain's developmental goals. The Deputy Prime Minister, Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, the Deputy Chairman and members of the Services Committee from both councils, members of the Representatives and Shura Councils, a number of senior officials and Samir Nas also attended the meeting. In implementation of the directive of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to provide 6,900 housing services on the occasion of Bahrain's National Days, the 25th anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne and the accompanying national events, and His Royal Highness's directive to increase the number of beneficiaries of the Messiah programme for 2024 by 1,400 additional beneficiaries, the Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Al-Rumehi, announced the start of procedures to implement the plan to provide housing services to citizens, which includes allocating housing finance, in addition to handing over a number of ownership services projects. On the occasion, the Minister stressed the government's keenness to provide social housing services to citizens and decent living in light of the comprehensive developmental process under the leadership of His Majesty the King, with a continuous follow-up of His Royal Highness, and in line with the housing goals of the government's programme 2023 to 2026. She said that communication has been initiated with the financing banks to coordinate the disbursement of financing amounts to citizens, while the engineering team has started counting their completed projects, in addition to the projects whose completion rates have reached their final stages, to hand them over to beneficiaries. She also indicated that work is currently underway to prepare lists of beneficiaries of the housing services included in the plan. Aramehi also said that the Ministry has started implementing the directives of His Royal Highness to increase the number of beneficiaries of the Messiah programme, as the procedures for allocating the financing amounts to citizens who applied for the programme until December of this year are currently being finalised. The Minister of Interior, General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, yesterday attended the conclusion of the 4th Arab Masters Tennis Tournament, organised by the Ministry of Interior, in cooperation with the Bahrain Tennis Federation and the Arab Tennis Federation. The tournament was held with the participation of an elite group of Arab players with ATP and ITF rankings, in the presence of the advisor of His Majesty the King for Youth and Sports Affairs, Salah Al-Manai, Ambassador of Kuwait to Bahrain, Sheikh Thamar Jabba Al-Ahmed Al-Suba, the Chief of Public Security, Lieutenant General Tariq Al-Hassan, and the President of the Arab Tennis Federation, Sheikh Ahmed Al-Jabba Al-Abdullah Al-Suba. On the occasion, the Minister stressed that hosting this event in Bahrain is thanks to the Kingdom's elements that enhances international status, which was achieved thanks to the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to the sports sector, noting the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. He also hailed the successful initiatives and efforts of His Majesty the King's representative for humanitarian work and youth affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, in the sports and youth sector. He noted that ATP Challenger winning the best tournament in Asia and the Pacific reflects the outstanding efforts, dedication and high level of organisation and the extent of cooperation naming concerned parties, and affirms the Ministry of Interior's interest in raising the level of sports and encouraging active participation in various sports fields. He praised the distinguished level of organisation and preparation of the tournament and the successful preparation of internationally ranked tennis players. He noted the sports performance of the players and their commitment to sportsmanship, expressing thanks and appreciation to Bahrain Tennis Federation, Arab Tennis Federation, Public Security Sports Federation and Public Security Officers Club for their efforts that contributed to the tournament's success. The Minister also honoured the winners, wishing everyone success.
Game, c'est un match. Dogas, 2-7-3. 7-6, 1-6, 10-3.
The Minister of Youth Affairs, Rahman Tawfiqi, announced the launch of the Exceptional Volunteer Initiative, aimed at honouring 25 outstanding Bahraini youth in the field of voluntary work. The initiative will coincide with Bahraini Youth Day, observed annually on March the 25th, in recognition of their efforts and contributions to the community, and in promoting the spirit of giving. The Minister noted that the initiative aligns with the policies of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, chaired by the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa. These policies aim to enhance voluntary work, support youth contributing to their communities, and highlight inspiring young figures who have made a tangible positive impact through their determination and initiatives. Tawfiqi invited Bahraini youth to participate in this initiative, which aims to amplify the role in voluntary work and showcase their capabilities. Bahrain is set to host the Council of Arab Ministers of Social Affairs main meetings on December the 24th and 25th, following the opening of the 44th session. The meetings aim to promote social development in Arab countries by discussing important issues and achieving comprehensive Arab social development goals. The 44th session will involve high-level ministerial participation from Arab countries and representatives of regional and international organisations. The topics will include social and humanitarian support for Arab brothers facing conflicts and challenges, as well as support for social and developmental projects, contributing to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The meetings will also discuss 14 items to prepare for the Arab Summit, the Second World Summit for Social Development, and the World Summit for Persons with Disabilities. The Bahrain national football team yesterday achieved a thrilling 3-2 victory over Saudi Arabia in the opening round of Group B in the Gulf Cup 26, currently underway in Kuwait. According to the Kuwait news agency, Mahdi Abdul-Jabbar opened the scoring for Bahrain in the 19th minute after a corner kick by Mahdi Humadam, who added Bahrain's second goal in the 38th minute. In the second half, Saudi Arabia scored their first goal in the 73rd minute. Bahrain then extended their lead in the 76th minute with a goal by Mohammed Mahoun. Saudi Arabia managed to reduce the deficit in the 84th minute with a penalty scored by Saleh Al-Shahri, following a handball by Bahraini defender Ahmin Benadi. Despite Saudi Arabia's attempts to equalise, Bahraini goalkeeper Ibrahim Lutfali and the team's defence stood firm, securing Bahrain's thrilling win. Bahrain will face Iraq in the second round of the tournament next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. On a historic sporting night, the Kingdom of Bahrain's flag was held high with a deserved and honourable victory achieved by the national football team against the Saudi team as part of the 26th Gulf Cup. More in this report.
The victory of Bahrain's national football team over Saudi Arabia's by 3-2 in the 26th Gulf Cup tournament has redefined the features of national pride and ignited enthusiasm in the hearts of Bahraini fans who have always supported their team.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
With exceptional performance and high fighting spirit, Bahraini players showed their skills and ability to face one of the strongest teams in the Gulf, confirming that the Bahraini red is a symbol of determination and persistence. The decisive goal against Saudi Arabia was a historic moment that put a smile on the faces of all Bahraini fans and proved that challenges are overcome with determination.
He is replaced by player number 24, Vincent Manuel. Goal for Bahrain. هدف لصالح منتخب البحرين.
The cheers of Bahraini fans echoed throughout the stadium, which were a source of support for the players, while they raised the national flag high, filled with pride. This victory is a bright start to the national team's journey towards the historic achievement in the 26th Gulf Cup.
The Kingdom of Bahrain continues its celebrations of its national days and the 25th anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne and accompanying national events. Bahrain celebrations offer cultural, entertainment and sports experiences that reflect the status of this cherished national occasion. More in this report.
Since the beginning of December, the Kingdom of Bahrain has been adorned in white and red colors and celebrating everywhere, and one of the most prominent events of the season is the Muharram Nights Festival, which transforms the streets of this city into a magical destination every year and fills them with folk arts and Bahraini food that bring back old memories. In addition to the Heritage Village, which offers visitors a unique experience that combines interactive shows and live performances that take visitors on a journey between the past and the present, the Al-Baraha Market also hosts various events, including cultural and artistic. The Farmers Market also offers an opportunity to display local products in a way that reflects the efforts of Bahraini agriculture and supports local farmers in this season. Shopping malls also offer a number of winter events with a national theme, including the Avenues Bahrain hosting the Winter Village, which provides a vibrant winter atmosphere. On the last day of December, audiences will be treated to firework displays at 8 different locations across the kingdom, as well as drone light shows to celebrate the end of Bahrain's festive season.
The Heritage Village continues its annual festival to include a wide range of events targeting different age groups. This edition includes a number of interactive artistic performances that celebrate Bahraini heritage and culture, as well as live heritage performances and various folk arts. The festival is a unique opportunity to enjoy a festive atmosphere that combines entertainment and celebration of heritage in a framework that combines originality and innovation and gives locals, residents and tourists the opportunity to get a closer look at the authentic Bahraini heritage, which includes facilities and architectural models that showcase many historical stations of Bahrain.